Peace, 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 IG. Daniel KC1 NCF tapping back in with your family. Today's daily survival tip number 23. Practice how you intend to play. Practice how you intend to play. If you're preparing yourself for a game, a basketball game, a football game, a baseball game, and you attend practices, you attend drills and camps, you go to scrimmages, and you give your all in order to increase your speed, to increase your power, to increase your hand-eye coordination, to increase your agility, to increase your overall skill set and maneuverability in a game, right? The intent of attending those practices is to condition your body, to condition your mind to respond, to move, to adjust to different situations and circumstances that may arise in the actual game during game time, so that you are already in optimal form, optimal shape, and you know that you can perform on game day. Right, so when you practice, or when you attend a practice, be it football, baseball, basketball, if you work out at a boxing gym, preparing to, box professionally, you're going to put yourself through certain drills. You're going to go through certain trainings. You're going to test your body according to the different types of obstacles you feel you may encounter in the real game, in the real fight, right? So if you're preparing for a boxing match without having somebody throw blows at your chest, throw blows at your stomach, at your abdomen, throw blows at your face, if you're training to be a professional boxer and you're not taking hits from somebody who can, throw a punch as well as the other professionals, then you're not really practicing for a fight. You're just boxing for fun, basically. You're just in there training, maybe just trying to get fit or whatever have you, to whatever degree that you can. But if I'm training for a fight and I know that the guys in the league that I'm going to participate in are of a certain caliber, of a certain degree of skill, then I'm going to want to spar with individuals who match that skill level. I'm going to want to spar with individuals who can take me through the gauntlet, take me through the ringer, take me through all of the different types of obstacles that I know that I'm going to face when I get into the real ring. If I'm practicing for football, I'm going to run routes. I'm going to run routes that are familiar, routes that are common amongst all the teams, right? Things that, the most common types of routes to run, the most common types of plays to run. We're going to run those in practice because we're likely going to see this. We're likely going to use these plays because everyone does, right? But then there are certain other plays that whatever team you're playing for, they use in their goodie bag, in their playbook. Well, you have to run those routes. You have to run those plays in practice so that when game time comes and the other team is playing their behind off, trying to get that win, it's not going to be like practice. They're trying to come for your neck. They're trying to come for your head. It's going to be a whole nother level of pressure. There's going to be a whole different group and set of people with their eyes on you, some cheering you, some booing you, and with that increased pressure, your ability to perform in that situation is going to be tried. So if you don't practice under pressure, then when the real pressure comes, you may not be able to perform as well as you may have liked to, had you practiced according to how you intend to play. Same thing for baseball. If you're a baseball player and you do and you want to go to the MLB, but at practice you hit all your balls off a tee, like in T-ball. You put them up there on the tee and you swing at it and you hit home runs off the tee because the ball's sitting right there for you to get the perfect swing every time. You're not practicing for that 60 mile an hour or however fast them dudes be throwing that dang baseball. It's going to be a whole nother thing standing in that box when that little piece of canvas comes flying at you. than hitting it off of a tee. In basketball, if you're not running suicides, if you're not, up and down, back and forth on the court, bending your knees, doing karaoke steps, shifting side to side. If you're not making all those motions, if you're not doing that in practice, having to stop your body and then shift directions, hit a fast break real quick and then get back on defense real quick. All of that speeding up, slowing down, speeding up, slowing down are things that you have to do in practice because at the end of the day, it takes a lot of conditioning. It takes a lot of energy just to keep shifting from those different impact levels. And if you're not doing that in practice, you're not going to be able to perform that well in the game. If you're practicing to run a marathon, you're not going to practice for the Boston Marathon, which is about 26 miles or so. You're not going to practice for that running just 5 miles. Like you're only running that's the most you ever go in practice. Maybe you might not ever run 26 miles. But even if you try for 24, 25, if you can hit 25, you pretty much can hit 26, right? But you're definitely not going to run for 5 miles. I don't care how often you do it. If you run 5 miles every single day without fail from now to the marathon, when that 26-mile marathon comes up, it's not going to be the same thing. It's not going to feel the same because you might run that 5 miles at a certain pace, at a certain speed, and you can make it every time because that's what you've conditioned yourself to do. But the way you have to pace yourself, the speed you have to go at, the breathing, even the time of the year, if you're not practicing for that time of the year when the temperature is a certain kind of way, then when that marathon comes, you're likely not going to finish that 26 miles. So it's the same thing with everything in life. When you know that in the journey of life that there are certain milestones, there's certain obstacles, there's certain points that you're going to come to, that we all come to eventually, and you don't prepare yourself for those, if you don't practice, taking control of your lower desires, practice disciplining yourself in situations and circumstances where it's easy to get carried away or easy to be swayed or manipulated or guided. If you're not training yourself to stop, assess situations, and then make informed decisions based off of information gathered through your 5 senses, if you're not practicing that, then when life hits you with the various obstacles, the many obstacles along that path, you're going to struggle through each one of those more than necessary. Because struggles are ordained, trials are ordained. They're going to come, they're going to happen, right? But we have the ability to condition ourselves. We have the ability to practice. We have the ability to train ourselves to meet and overcome those obstacles when it comes to setting a budget, when it comes to taking care of our physical health, exercise, running, walking, swimming, biking, whatever have you, different things to keep your body in shape. If you're not, taking care of your lungs and practicing good, respiratory habits, breathing exercises, refraining from smoking. If you're not taking certain measures now by either doing something on a regular basis with discipline, so that when the time comes you're able to do it second nature, or your body doesn't have or isn't as impacted as it would be had you not been working out. Or if there are things that when an obstacle arises that you can foresee you want to refrain from doing something. It's something that you want to not end up doing, but you're not practicing abstinence. And I'm not just talking about abstinence from sex. I'm talking about abstaining from anything of the lower desires: sleep, food, sex, water, all the temptations, all of the various things that typically draw the human beings lower desires out to the forefront. If you're not practicing abstinence, if you're not practicing restraint, when you have availability of something and you want that thing, but you don't need that thing, you deny yourself that thing so that you can, show yourself first that, no, I have the will and the power to say no. This is not something that I'm addicted to. This is not something that I am a victim of. This is something that if I so choose, I'll partake in. But if I choose not to, if I know that I need not to, or the time isn't right, or whatever have you, it's easy as just saying no. Who cares? It's there. Yeah, I like chocolate, but that chocolate bar is going to sit there for a few days because I got to go. Or, whatever have you, whatever the obstacle, whatever the vice, whatever it is, train and condition yourself and practice how you intend to play. So when it comes to survival and preparedness, when you buy different gear, when you buy different equipment, when you buy different gadgets, when you buy different things for your survival and preparedness, use them, put them to work, test them out, see if they work the way they should work, so that when game time comes, you're not stuck there trying to figure out how to operate something, how to implement something, how to put something into play last minute when your life depends on it. No, you've already gone through the motions and you've tried it, and you know how it works, and you know how you'll deploy it when the time comes, because that stress hits you. And even things that you have practiced, things that you've done in the past, sometimes may present a challenge because of adrenaline, because of whatever's going on in the environment. It's causing you to kind of, I'm not drift, but you're just having a hard time recalling what it is that you're supposed to be doing in that moment. And practice is going to make it easier for your subconscious mind to send your body into action, even without you thinking about it, and you can just respond to different situations and circumstances. So that's daily survival tip number 23, family. Practice how you intend to play. Prepare yourself for a day of uncertainty, and put something in place so that you and your family and your loved ones are able to have some degree of peace in these times of uncertainty. Peace. Daniel Casey, 1NCF, tapping out.